All right, welcome back for another episode of Fig Life. Glad to have you back with us. Hopefully, you're doing great. All is good in the world for you. And we're going to bring you some more fun and entertaining stuff. We've really been having a lot of fun doing this show, Fig Life. Hopefully, you subscribed. If you're a first time watcher, please make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button. And just know that on Fig Life, man, we're going to be bringing you guys some great content and great shows every week, breaking down all of our cool figures, collections, memorabilia, you name it, we're going to have it on this show. And I am joined tonight as me, Johnny Podcast, and John Wangland, and I'm here with me with my partner in crime, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, my brother from a different mother, the real deal, Richie Reardon. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Of course, this is the day after New Year's Day, excuse me. And we are just having a great time, man, tonight, breaking down our collection and talking some shop. And
Yep.
I'm just glad to be here with you guys, man. I'm loving this community we're growing.
Absolutely, man. It's been a lot of fun. We just launched this for just a couple few days now at this point, and man, we're getting a great reception, great people making some great stuff and great comments out there. We're glad you're enjoying it. Really hoping once again, like I said, that you subscribed. And if you didn't, it takes 2 seconds to click that button and that little bell there to subscribe. Tell your friends to share it. We'd love that. We'd appreciate it. That's how we're going to grow this community. Now, for tonight, we got a little bit of a different one that we haven't done yet, but it's going to be a fun one here, man. And it's going to be a little bit about some memorabilia stuff because you have a fantastic memorabilia collection too, and you just got some fantastic stuff that's out there. And I know it's something you love to share with everybody. So we're going to call it the gimmick stand here. So what's the gimmick stand, Richie? I want you to give them a little idea on what it's going to be, and show us what you got on the gimmick stand today.
So as you said, man, I got a lot of stuff as far as memorabilia, and I'm gonna leave some of the good stuff for later episodes. Not that this stuff isn't good, but I'm telling you, when I say I got some good stuff, man, I'm sure you can say out there as my witness that I've showed you some things that are probably a little bit advanced for a regular person to have in their collection there. So.
Some
Not to
cool
give
shit, man.
myself a little pat on the back, man, but it's some cool shit, and I just want
You
to
got some really cool
excite you
shit, man.
guys for it. Yeah, absolutely. So,
It's cool stuff.
um, so we're gonna be showing you every now and then some cool memorabilia that we get from the shows or that we get from just some good sales online, different legendary items, different things like that. So I went to a show out called Cactus League Wrestling. It's a local indie promotion there that goes in Arizona. And you got stars like James Ellsworth and Chris Masters, and they have people come in like Mick Foley all the time and Killer Cross and things of that nature. I ended up picking up this pretty sweet limited edition all in plaque here. And what's cool about this, I don't know if you can see, but it's got actually a piece of the mat there. All
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, and it's a pretty decent sized piece. Most of the time when you get cards or something like that, they give you a really small piece of the ring. So that's one of the things that appealed to me. And also, I'm a big fan of numbered merch. And this is 390 out of 1,000. So it's still not too crazy of a high number. And I'll try and get a good picture of that number there so you can see
Yep.
for proof. It's not too crazy of a high number. I got this. You could even say this is a score, a score of the week, man. And I'll go ahead and give the price. I got this for $25 out there at Cactus League Wrestling at the merch
Wow.
stand. So yeah, man, this is definitely a true candidate for the gimmick corner and a score of the week nonetheless. So definitely glad to have that in my collection, brother.
That's a beautiful one, man. And I'm telling you, they were going for a few $100 when they were selling them at first. So you got one hell of a score on that one, brother.
Yeah, I don't know what they originally went for, but God, man, I couldn't, when I saw $25, even if even if that's what originally they were going for, that fucking got my attention right away, man. So I couldn't pass it down. AEW is something that's taken off, and I definitely had to jump on the train and get that as an early merch for them. So.
That's a beaut, man. Really, man. That's a great one there. Especially, I can't wait till they start making some AEW figures and stuff too.
Yeah, you're not lying, man. They're starting, Storm Figures is starting to do New Japan Wrestling figures. And if you're listening to this right now, you'll probably notice that the Jushin Thunder Liger figure came out on
Yeah.
Ringside Collectibles. So go over there and check that out. You can get your hands on it while they're available. Storm figures, they tend to take off in price for how rare they are eventually. So definitely get your hands on that if you're a New Japan fan. So I'm hoping we do get some AEW figures that are like that.
Yeah,
So the
that new
next,
that New Japan line. Sorry, Richie, really quick.
oh no,
That
you're
New
fine.
Japan line is pretty pricey stuff too for people. So
Yeah,
the
it's about
Juice
60
Thunder.
bucks right now.
Yeah, it's going for the cheapest I've seen the Jushin Thunder Liger go for is like $50, and
Yeah,
they have a Tanahashi. I think it's Tanahashi that's coming out in the
Tanahashi. Yep.
summertime, and his is pre-order over at Ringside Collectibles. I think it's about
It's
I think it's
60
about
bucks. It's
is it? Yeah,
59.99. Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
pretty
then they
crazy.
got Will Ospreay too coming out.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's gonna be an interesting one to see.
Yeah, he comes with the katana, the whole getup.
Hmm.
They got God, who's that one that we were just talking about that Meltzer likes a lot?
Okada.
Okada, that's right. God, I'm a New Japan fan and I forgot that. Jesus. Anyways, Okada, they got him coming out, man, and his looks pretty iconic as well, and the belts look great quality and stuff. So check them out over there at Ringside Collectibles. They got that new figure line coming out for New Japan. It's good stuff. Just wanted to show you one more thing on the merch, the merch corner there, the gimmick corner. This is something my wife got me for Christmas. I have a pretty extensive wrestling bobblehead collection, and this is the collector's edition of the Rumble heads that came out. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was in 2001, right before the changeover to WWE. This was, of course, when Stone Cold Steve Austin came back after his car accident. And I love this bobblehead, man. It's one of my favorites.
When was that
The
made?
This was in 2001 actually.
Gotcha.
And this is series 1. I don't know how many series actually came out, but I'll give you the figures that came out to this point. These were called Bobble Dobbles. Uh
Oh,
that was the company name actually, and they're actually called Rumble Heads, excuse me. And if you want to collect them all, right now I see in the series 1 they have Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Lita, Chris Jericho, and Kane. So they had a variation of different superstars there for your taste. If you didn't particularly like one or the other, it's great. They had a great line of different superstars there. The detail in this thing is amazing, but I will tell you the only thing that I didn't like about these is if you look real close on the graphics of the vest there on Steve
yep,
Austin and his trunks,
yep.
these are actually stickers. They're not printed
Ah,
in on the figure. So when you take them out of the box, which I've done with a few of them, matter of fact, I'll grab one real quick just to show you. This one is, of course, Triple H. And if you look at the stickers, man, they don't stay on real good. Like on this one here, it's kind
yeah.
of peeling right there, unfortunately. And I like to keep my stuff really nice, as you know. And I've done the best I could with these, and unfortunately, they come off. So I'm hoping somebody eventually sells replacement ones so I can put them on there. But unfortunately, they didn't do a good enough job, I don't think, staying on. So definitely, if you're looking into these, that's one flaw, just to let you
Yep.
know.
Those are pretty cool, man. I've never seen those. Those are cool.
Thank you, man. I love them to death, and my wife and I, she loves bobbleheads, and I love bobbleheads of different things and different collections, different sports, and so we wanted to keep that going along with the wrestling collection there.
Good picks, man. I'm telling you, I love that one right there, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
I do, man. Now, what else do you got for us this week, my friend?
So I'm gonna go ahead and because I'm all decked out in my NWO gear, of course, I'm gonna
And they're
go
going
ahead
in the
and
Hall of Fame, so we got to give them some good
yeah,
credit over
man.
the 2 months.
Absolutely, and this guy is definitely a great one. He was one of my favorites, man. He actually, between the two that I'm about to show you, these two guys, man, they're what sucked me into the wrestling business. These two guys had so much charisma, so much energy to the product, and can't say enough about either of their careers, man. Both in WWF and WCW. They were even in TNA for a little bit, so they've been all over the place. This one in particular, man, I love what the Elite came out with, the Elite series. Of course, Mattel I'm talking about. They came out with a series called Flashback, and I freaking love these figures, man, because they have so many legends that don't have multiple figures out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had a build and interview set. So it was SummerSlam 1989, the interview set that you could make. And this figure I'm talking about is none other than Syxx,
Ooh.
the Six Pack man. And this NWO shirt right here that I'm pointing at, this is cool because this isn't your average NWO shirt. If you actually flip that thing around, it's the six ball shirt, the rare six
Huh.
ball. Yeah, I love that, man. Not a lot of figures came out with that. I don't think to this date, actually, besides this one, that you could ever get that shirt. And that was one of my favorite NWO shirts from back in the day. Of course, you got the thug attire that he used to wear, which I thought was pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, you'll have to edit that. Sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry, bro.
Um, so Sean Waltman, man, he was so iconic with Six Pack and X Pac and all of those. But this one in particular, a lot of people don't know this, but at the time he was called the workhorse of the NWO. He was going out there and wrestling all the matches. When Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were kind of just doing, squash matches all over people, Six Pac was actually going out there and actually wrestling, some competitive matches, in my opinion. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his time in the NWO and what he did for them during that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had a bunch of main event stars that were in the main event and stuff like that. But Six Pac, he really carried the what would you say? He really put the NWO on his back as far as like the cruiserweights and stuff like that. They didn't have any stars in the cruiserweight division, and as you know, that was a huge division for WCW. So I feel like
Yep.
he did a great job on that, man. And you flip it over to the side there, you got an iconic picture of Six Pac there with the flashback logo. And I like this the color scheme that they did with this box. It's real nice and vibrant, the red and blue and everything. But some of the people that came out in this particular series to build this interview set were Mean Gene Okerlund. Not too many of him came out.
Nope.
Ultimate Warrior, that was a great figure. Yokozuna, which if you don't know Yokozuna, he doesn't have many figures as well. I think he's had like maybe two elites
Yeah,
total,
if even that, man.
which is a shame, man. He's one of the
Yeah.
best big men of the business, so I think there needs to be more. And then of course on here you got some of the things that Six Pac participated in, a little brief description of the Wolf Pack and stuff like that, man. So all in all, this figure is definitely one of my favorites in the NWO collection that I got.
Yeah. The flashback series, I have a bunch of them, man. They're some pretty tremendous figures that they made in the flashback series. Very, very realistic. Really cool stuff, man, because they picked some really cool gimmicks that they were going through for this series. And it's absolutely it's a beaut, man. I really love that. I've never seen that figure actually, so I love
Really?
Sean. Yeah, no, I haven't. I love Sean Waltman here. That's
Yeah.
one I definitely in the near future would love to pick up there. That's a beautiful one.
I love that it has the spray can. I just noticed that. I've owned this figure for
Oh,
like
I just saw that in
ever
his hand
now.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's pretty darn cool, man. I'm sure you can if you're a guy that takes these figures out and lets them breathe and you position them, I'm sure you've come up with a lot of cool pictures to take with that, man.
yeah,
So,
you ain't lying about that, man. That's a beaut, man.
well, I got another one here as kind of a grand finale for the night, man. Got to keep that NWO vibe going. And of course, the ringside exclusives we've covered on this show many, many times. And I told you and I warned you, so don't be mad at me that I'm picking these. These are just that damn good. There's a ton of them in my collection that you're going to see. And this one, man, is one of, I would say this is probably top five in my whole collection
Hmm.
as far as figures that have come out. And that's just because I hold this guy in high regard. He's the man that got me sucked into wrestling. I'll say it time and time again. He is none other than the ringside exclusive Scott Hall, the bad
Oh,
guy.
beautiful.
Of course, this is autographed,
I love this
and
one.
it says it says the bad guy on it and signed Scott Hall. So that is actually pretty cool, man. You see the white and black iconic background there. I like how they did that. I was so glad that they chose to go with the white background and
Yeah,
not a black one because I feel like it really popped this figure out.
yeah, compliments it.
Yeah, it really does. And, Scott Hall, he doesn't have many figures that has this iconic attire. A lot of them that came out, like the Jack Pacific series, they did one called the draft figures that came out,
Yep.
and they never included these iconic elbow or knee pads. And finally, Jakks Pacific, when they did the classic superstar line, the deluxe Scott Hall that came out, I believe, was the first one to have those elbow pads that I particularly saw. Since Toy Biz, I believe. That was the last one that I saw, but that was red and black. I don't know if they came out with a white and black. They might have with that Sting mask that came out with that figure.
Yep.
But you'll have to double check on that, guys. But going back to this one, man, because this is just too sweet of a figure for your collection. You got your iconic Scott Hall stance there with his arms, raised out. You got the NWO cutoff shirt on the side there. Of course, you got another spray can because they
Yep.
always were spraying people's back. Love that his front there says Hall for his attire. And then you go ahead and flip it around to the back there. You got a brief description of what was going on at that time for him. Of course, he was too sweet. Got the NWO logo there and an iconic picture of Scott Hall himself. And then you flip it over to the side. Got a nice picture of him there. Scott Hall. Of course, this side here, you got a nice iconic picture there. Overall, man, this series was just incredible. Of course, Ringside knocking it out of the park again, and it's autographed, man. So it's just, it's just too sweet. This figure is just incredible.
That's a beaut, man. I've seen that one out there. It's a gorgeous one. Another one that I'd love to get down the line because, man, you could just see the attention to detail in that, and I love the different attachments and things that they put with it, with the shirt and the spray paint on that one. I think that's really cool and unique on what they do. And they nailed his gear down perfectly. Like they really
did, man.
Yeah,
They're one of the first ones to do it because they came out with one that I also have. I'll end up showing you guys down the road. And it came out with the red and black blood dripping attire that he had, man. And these two figures together, if you have them in your collection, these are Scott Hall spitting image, man, and they are just perfect.
He's got a ton of different lines and figures, which is nice to see. And it's a testament to Scott Hall to how over he was and what a big part of wrestling history is because he has a ton of figures. That's one of the most beautiful ones I've seen of him, man. And it's even better because it's autographed, man. That's that, and that he signed it the bad guy.
Yeah, it's a very hard figure to come across for the Mattel Elite. I mean, it's God, man. It's definitely top 5 in my collection, and as you know, I have plenty of figures. So that's saying quite a bit to have that in the top 5 there.
Yeah, man, that's a beaut, man. Good picks for tonight, Richie. You brought some great scores out there, some great picks, some great things out there. I love the gimmick stand stuff that you had as well. That was some cool stuff. And we're going to keep the cool stuff coming here on the show, man. We're going to keep it coming multiple times a week here. Tons of episodes, tons of content. We could go on for a long time with the collection stuff and the things that we have. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. Once again, go ahead, make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. Hit that bell for the notifications. And if you want to follow Richie and I on social media, Richie, you can find him at @III_Reardon, REARDON. You can look right down below and see throughout the show where to follow us on there and the spelling of everything again in case you forget. And you can follow me on Twitter at WWR Podcast. Or on Instagram, Reality Check Podcast Network. We got a great website and store at rcpodnetwork.com. Gives links to all of our podcasts that we do on wrestling, Wrestling Anonymous, Wrestling with Reality, and the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. Literally 7 days a week of wrestling content, past, present, and some of the future potential topics that we got on there. And Fig Life, keep spreading the word, folks. We greatly appreciate it. Getting tons of great feedback and stuff. And Richie, we got some great members of the Fig World Order growing, man, because we got to remind them before we do the next episode, as we always do, man. When you're part of the Fig World Order, brother, we
Hold
know
on
it.
one sec.
Oh, he's got something
We're
else.
gonna have to reshoot that last part. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
We're gonna also, if you guys don't remember, we're doing a giveaway. Our 500th and our 1,000th subscribers are gonna get some rare stuff. We want to keep paying it forward for all the success of the show, and you guys are a big part of it. So just remember, once we get to 500 subscribers and 1,000, we're gonna be giving those giveaways, man, and we will not disappoint on those. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Absolutely, man. So once we get it up there and we can get that stuff going, somebody's gonna get some great shit, man. So we're gonna give something great from our collections and things for those people that for the 500th and 1,000th one, we'll do those drawings and stuff. And you definitely won't be disappointed. So the quicker we get there, the quicker that we get a chance to give it away, and you might have that chance to win something really cool, completely on us, and no strings attached, nothing at all. Once we get to that number, we'll do it the fair way and get it done, and it'll be some fun, man. So, Richie, Fig World Order members out there, we really hope you had a great time on the show again and are enjoying it. And once again, spread that word for us. We really appreciate it, because you know what, Richie? We're all part of the Fig World Order here, man. And when you're part of the Fig World Order, we always got to remind everybody on this at the end here. You're part of the Fig World Order, man. And it's always for life.